welcome back to the channel, my friends. So today we're going to be doing some more fabrication and welding on the WRX. So as you guys saw, the up pipe is fully welded out at this point with the exception of the external wastegate, which I'll do once I get my new little billet flange in for the external wastegate. I just got the downpipe, the first weld done on the downpipe, and dear Lord, that is the best weld I think I've ever done. I finally got my back purging set up in. So I'm running one regulator, but it's got 2 ports on it, so that way I can regulate to the back purge, and then I can also regulate to my torch itself. So I'm so pumped, dude. The welds come out so much better. It actually welds the inside of the tubing, and it just, oh my God, you guys saw it, dude. It looks thousands of times better than any weld I've ever done. So today, we're gonna keep going. That's just right where I'm gonna roll off. We're not gonna get into anything crazy or special. Happy New Year, by the way. But let's get to continuing to build our downpipe and figure out how the hell we're gonna route this thing to our catback. I'm a little bit scared to do this, but we'll figure it out. We'll figure everything out, right? I've got the next alignment marks set up for the downpipe, so back to the shop we go so I can go tack welding. All right, alignment marks are good. For the welders on the channel, rate my tack welds. What would you rate those? Like, serious question, because I'm trying to like learn and get better and whatnot. And I feel like I'm doing a hell of a lot better than I was. I went a little too hot right there, burned a small hole in it. I can totally fill that though, but dude, we got a downpipe going here. Let's take this back to the house and keep going on it. There is the current status of the downpipe. Let's get it back in and figure out the next section that we're doing, which will probably be like a straight and then a V-band maybe. I don't know. Well, let's get it back in and figure that part out. I got a couple more pieces of the downpipe here. Let's go back to the shop and weld some more. Hopefully that is gonna get us close. I know that's gonna get us close right there. Downpipe coming along and actually starting to look like a downpipe now. I will say pie cuts still absolutely kick my ass to weld. The small areas in between the, is this hot? No, it's not. The smaller areas on the pie cuts, where is it? Oh, right up here. Dude, it's just like I can't control heat on that small of an area. So it starts to get like stupid hot in those areas. So I'd use some filler rod in there. Everything else I didn't use any filler rod on like that. Like these welds right here where you see them, those welds. There's not really any filler rod on any of the other tack welds, but you know, it's coming along. Like, it's not a massive deal. It's not like anyone's gonna see it. It is kind of at a weird angle right there. Now that I look at it, it doesn't flow super nice, but you know, it's my first one that I've ever done, so it's practice. So let's go test fit it and see what we got to do. I might just make it a one-piece downpipe, to be honest. I mean, we're almost to the catback at this point. I think if this was in the car, the catback would be like right here, so it's like not that much farther off. All right, downpipe is back in again. And everything's flowing smoothly. Now, hopefully this will be the last time I have to do like a fitting or a test fitting like this. So let me hop back down here, figure out the next section of pipe, and hopefully that is the last section of pipe that we have to figure out. That has been the most difficult shit I have done, is trying to make the downpipe meet up to the catback of the car because of like angles and everything. It's a puzzle. Everything with fabrication is a puzzle, but I think I've got it figured out. Like I had to do like an angled cut on that to be able to bend it up to be able to reach the catback with another bend on there to be able to, it's stupid. Well, it's not stupid, it's just a puzzle. This is the part that frustrates me. Like this whole portion right here was easy because that's just getting it to the general area, and then getting it from the general area to the rest of the catback is what just kicks my ass, man. So swing back over to the shop again. Let's go tack weld this up. I'm not gonna put the flange on quite yet because I want to wait on that. I had it tacked on there. The tack weld's broke, but it's no big deal. I'd rather get this portion done with so that way we can see where we need to put the flange in the orientation of it because it will have an orientation. So now that this is done, let's go back to the shop. Let's tack build some more. Let's do some more welding. So downpipe is pretty much fabricated at this point. I just have to finish weld it, which I need more gas, so I'll go get gas tomorrow. I have enough in the argon tank back there to finish tack welding the up pipe for the external wastegate tube, and then after that I'll just kill off whatever I have, back purge what I can on this, get this finished welded, go get more gas, and we can be done with the downpipe. But not bad for my first time, if I must say so myself. I'm not too happy with this portion. Like, trying to get the downpipe to meet up with the catback was definitely the hardest part of this, because like you go through here and you do all these alignment marks to try to get things lined up, and then you try to make things work, and it's just like you guys can see a fat gap right there in the piping, which I can fill with filler rod, but it's just like I had to do like weird angled cuts to get it to line up, just because like obviously I'm still learning how to do this stuff. But like I'm super happy with this portion up here. It's just this like back portion that I'm like meh about. So let's go test fit one more time, get our flange location figured out. We can tack weld the flange on there when we come back over here to do the external wastegate guy. But sick. I am pleased to announce that the V1 Smeedia Rotated kit design is complete. There's still a little bit of work we got to do with it, but we have an up pipe, we have a down pipe. We still have to do the external wastegate and the dump tubes. Those are going to be easy. Those are like 1-inch piping that I'll worry about later on. But the down pipe fits, the up pipe fits, the turbo fits, the intake fits. Matt, it all fit. Let me show you guys this. I'd also like to give my apologies for this taking so long. It's just learning how to do this and making sure everything fits 100% is a little bit aggravating, annoying, and it's just frustrating, especially if you've never done it before, and making sure everything lines up perfect. But as you guys, I've shown you guys the intake fits beautifully up here. It's not even on there all the way. I'll worry about that later. The turbo sits where it needs to. The downpipe clears the firewall, comes down underneath of the car. I've got it supported with a jack right now because I still have to do the support bracket that goes right here off of the transmission to the downpipe. But it clears the axle, clears the firewall, literally clears everything so perfectly. Comes back down and then meets up to our catback back there. So I still have to weld that flange onto this pipe here. So I'm gonna get Sharpie marks on there. I'm gonna make a cardboard template for this bracket like we've been doing for everything else. Kind of mark it out right there. We'll go to the shop, we can make that bracket, we can weld that flange back there to the downpipe, and then all we have to do for the downpipe is just weld it out. That's freaking sick though. So let me hop down there, mark that flange doodad. And what else do I have to do? Oh, make that bracket out of cardboard real quick. Okay, I've got the flange tacked up to the downpipe where it needs to be, the orientation of it, and the position of it. I've got the cardboard stencil for the flange that I need to make to be able to weld that onto the downpipe, which will be another trip over there because I'm probably not gonna go over there again tonight. Dude, it takes so many trips. That's why this takes me so long, is I have to come back to the house, design what I'm designing, go back to the shop, tack weld a little bit of it, come back and back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Some people are saying, why don't you just move the welder back to the house? We're trying to clear up space in here. There's just no room. Like we're working with what we got, essentially. So let's go back to the shop. Let's go do some more welding, come back here, make sure everything fits one more time. If it does, we can final weld the downpipe, be done with our rotated kit. Except for intercooler piping, we still gotta do that, but I'm not gonna worry about that right this second. So I've got the downpipe almost done. I just decided to kill my gas and just weld out as much as I could. So I was back purging it and obviously using the gas as well. I made one mistake. I burned one hole in it, which is my own fault. How hot are you? Not crazy hot. Burned a hole in it right there. Yeah, right there. I was able to fill it, so it's not a huge deal. The rest of this came out awesome. Like, honestly, I feel like I'm getting better at welding. I'm back purging now. I'm trying to control heat more. That thing's a to weld on there because it's so thick, it takes so much heat. I was trying to use a torch to like heat it up a little bit before welding, and it didn't seem to help too much. I still have to finish welding in the bellow. There's just like a couple small spots on each side of the bellow I got to finish. Weld the V-band in, and then finish welding that 2-bolt flange on, and then I can put the little bracket on this guy, and our downpipe will be done at that. Oh, and an O2 sensor for the rear, and then our downpipe will be done. Honestly, this has been a huge learning process doing this stuff. I gotta wait for that thing to cool down, so I got a little powwow time, but like, don't be afraid to try to do this stuff on your own. Like, you're gonna make mistakes like I did. Like, I burned a massive hole in that thing. I filled it with filler rod and I closed it back up, but everything's a learning process. Like, from blue, I learned how to build an engine harness and rewire a chassis. With the WRX Hatch, I'm learning to weld and fabricate. It's insane what you can do when you like actually like are determined to learn a new skill or a new task or something. If YouTube never works out, hey, I've got a whole bunch of skills I can go use now. But it's like, it's insane. Don't be afraid to go try stuff. Like, you're gonna mess up. Embrace the mess ups and just learn from them, keep going. So let me get this downpipe loaded in the car. Let's go get it back on the hatchback. I want to make sure that fitment on everything is solid. I lost my cardboard template, so I have to make a new one at the house, so I can't even make the bracket right now, but I gotta come back here anyways in like a day or two when my billet flange comes in for the up pipe for the external wastegate. So it's no biggie. I need to get more gas anyway, so let's jet out of here. So I got the downpipe back in the car again, and let me tell you, it actually fits up beautifully. It clears the firewall, clears everything. I did make it bend up to pull the Tomei up higher. It is a little loosey-goosey in the middle down there, as you can see, but as soon as I do this transmission support mount right here to the downpipe, that should help clean up a lot of the loosey-goosiness that goes all the way back. But dude, super happy with this. The downpipe doesn't sit any lower than the frame rail either. I know it's super hard to see right now. This thing's pretty much fully welded. Just got to weld the bellow a little bit more, the 2-bolt flange back there, and then the V-band that's up top, and then a rotated kit, at least for the exhaust side of stuff, is pretty much done. I have to order some more parts for this thing tonight. Like I said, my goal is to have this thing running by Friday. We're close, but we're still a little ways out. It's just that all the custom fabrication stuff and all this stuff that we're building for this is one-off, and it's not like a kit that you can just buy and bolt everything on, so obviously it takes more time, but I'm very happy with the results of how everything is coming out on this kit. So alright guys, I think that's where I'm gonna end it on this one. It's been like 3 or 4 days of me filming for this video to get this downpipe figured out and this fabrication stuff done. I got the oil drain flange in for the turbo so I can make the oil return line. I got the turbo blanket in on the turbo, which it looks nice, a little torque solution carbon fiber looking heat blanket thing. I'm gonna go to the shop today, grab my argon bottle, go refill it, take it back, get that bracket made, welded onto the downpipe, get the rear O2 sensor put in there, and some more random stuff. I don't know. I have a lot to do. So that's all I got for you guys on this one. If you're pumped about the DIY rotated kit stuff, like, I'm super pumped. That's the coolest thing I've ever made in my book. In my opinion, I think that's the coolest thing I've ever made. So if you like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, yellow, purple, silver, cyan, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel and you want to be, I'll put it in one of these corners, but no idea which one quite yet. So with that, I will catch you guys in the next one. So peace out, homies.